Excuse me, what do you think about the antagonist movement? What do you think about the antagonist? Please tell me. Please, I digress. What do you not think of the antagonist movement? Why are you kissing their members? And walking away. And walking and walking and walking away. Antagonism! Peace.
I'm Johnny Valiant, former pro wrestler in the World Wrestling Federation.
And what do you think of the antagonist movement?
As far as what? I mean, as far as the congeniality of the crew? I mean,
nobody knows what the antagonist movement is or what it stands for. Exactly.
Do you think antagonist movement? Those guys, they kissed my ass so much that I had to get a can of turpentine to wipe the lipstick off.
So how'd you get involved tonight?
I'll be damned if I know, and I want to ever find a person that brought me here.
The antagonist movement. Oh, those guys bit my fanny.
All black?
I meant the name of the band, you self-conceited son.
You asked me my name.
I'm just kidding. What's the name of the band, man?
It's the Black Sea.
Keith Black, bass. Keith Black, drums.
Well, you already know. Paul Black, guitar.
My name's Chris Martinez, but I call myself Chris Black.
Why the fuck did we even do this? This sucks.
Yeah.
What the fuck is the antagonist
No
movement?
comment.
You're telling me that you just played a show for the antagonist movement, you don't even know who the hell they are? My description is that we're a bunch of fucked up people that like to create stuff, and we like other people to create, so...
Cool. Yeah, absolutely.
But the only problem with it is that we can't pull our shit together half the time, so we end up, like, booking 3 bands for one night and fucking forgetting the artists, but whatever, we're trying.
Really intently looking at me, and this girl's sitting over here like, hey, what do you want from me?
This piece is actually called Honky Town. That's your own blood?
Yeah.
Did you cut yourself to do that, or were you cut at the time and you used it?
No, I was cut a while before, and I just that was blocking the wound. So I used it. 'Cause I don't want to, you know, I don't want to fuck around with fake blood.
Yeah, I agree. We did a piece with lamb's blood.
Yeah. It's like, you know, like why even put blood in it at all if it's not gonna be fucking real?
There's something awesome just the feel of
Yeah,
blood.
it's real. It's and if you put stuff on top of it, it like spreads a little. It's so pretty.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I did that one. That was gonna be a cover for this comic book I'm doing, and it still might be.
Sticks and stones.
The only thing I don't like about this is I think roaches are supposed to live through all that, right? But it's a really nice piece. It reminds me of the back of the bar where all these dead roaches are.
Jones. I'm a 3D photographer and an animator.
And my camera is actually a Nimzo camera, which employs 4 lenses to produce the lenticular images. Because the lenticular process, they take the images pretty much simultaneously. So this camera has 4 lenses next to each other. And it takes all the images simultaneously. And then that with the plastic viewing screen produces the 3D. Well, I got my Nimzo camera because of Bob Munn, one of the artists of the show. And when I got the camera, I was real excited. And I took a lot of pictures different places, and then I began to take them at night, go out at night and take pictures of my friends and people I'd run into at night. And so I have images of many subjects, but I edited them for this particular show, which features people of a more nighttime.
Right. Vic. V-I-C.
John Natchez. J-O-N. Good Jewish John. N-A-T-C-H-E-Z.
I make a lot of noise sometimes. As it comes to this. Playing music.
Playing music?
Yeah, play a lot of music.
Why do you call it noise?
Because music is just noise.
Where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me.
You can appreciate a lot of things that you don't expect, you know? So, like, we used to harmonize with the bus, the school bus, you know? You did that, I'm sure. Everybody, right? You noises you don't expect that are nice. You're like, oh, who knew?
These are the questions I have about you. I wonder where you are. I wonder what you do.
What do you think about a movement that labels itself? I kind of think it's bullshit.
No, it's funny. Anything that labels itself is like a thing. You know, you gotta label it. You gotta make a label of your own, right?
It's better than somebody mislabeling you, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta say, hey, where the the bullshit is, or where the bullfrogs, or you know, something like that.
Yes, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. No water has run dry.
So like a band. Yeah, if you're in a band in high school, you know, you're the cool kid.
That's cool. Like garage stuff, or did you guys practice anything?
Man, I'm a horn player. Horn players are you know, sort of destined for dork bands.
It's all about ponies, and that little green thing looks like Australia. So it's all about how they didn't really have horses in Australia until the people settled there.
Tell us about your art.
What we have here tonight, stuff that I did personally for myself as like a relief from being an illustration student, because I went into illustration having no idea what I wanted to do. I'm not really an illustrator. But what I did on the side turned into something, and now I have this body of collage work that I'm pretty happy with. But in general, I'm considering myself a designer as a professional.
But you know, the presentation is really good on these pieces, the way they're hung.
Scissors. And those are the blades. And I think she's kind of trying to say to society, what the fuck do you want from me? I'm just an artist with some scissors.
And here's the other part of the scissor right there. Or that could be a beak.
What do you think about glory hogs? Like people who just are all about themselves, have huge egos, who just...
Art's a good place for you to be.
Do you think you have to have a strong ego to be an artist, though?
Yeah, because you're gonna have to push yourself more than anyone else. Because when you're in the art game, it's all, you know, you're the only one rooting for yourself.
And you can see Chris's fingerprints are all over the piece now.
That's not true. Oh, that's cool. What are those?
Those little planes? Oh, those little trees.
Trees.
Wow, this piece is much better upon further inspection.
The art game, it seems like it's a lot of gangs and sort of people hanging together and having similar styles, which is natural, you know, like little tribes.
That hurts. That is definitely there. It symbolizes pain,
but only in a certain area.
Yeah. Look at all the little nerve endings. They're just going nuts.
It's out there. It's kind of like the little guy in the middle, but they're gonna make the best of it.
Us? Little nerve endings. We're going crazy. And if you count the rings on that tree, you can see how old it is.
This is a 13-year-old tree, which makes me think the piece isn't really accurate because a tree would not be that wide when it's 13. That's something that we know, and you'll never find out. Yeah, those are my teeth from when I had my wisdom teeth out.
And look, that's what the Tooth Fairy brought him.
Quarters.
A big roll of quarters.
Wow, I only got like 75 cents.
Like if somebody's not educated in art and they just want to make something, there's no real reason to critique it or to say it's even bad. I mean, I said it was, but
that's fine. I mean, you have to use.
But just for the sake of doing it, I mean, it's when I was a kid, I drew and I sucked. There's something about just doing it that's either therapeutic or it communicates something or it's just fun, you know.
See, I have no problem with people that quote unquote suck, just because. Well, I do if they charge a lot of money for it. But if they're just doing something that they love and they do it because they love it and they don't really care about the end product, then that's fine with me.
Drjuchin.
He's gonna be in the Vanguard Club, maybe.
He thinks that he knows why he did all these, but we're gonna actually explain it.
By all means. Okay, so this piece, I'm gonna stand in the light so you can't really see it too good. It's all about how life and your mind can be very compartmentalized.
Yeah.
And you might think you're here one moment, but the next moment you're here and you're sideways.
Yeah, and then the next minute you're over here with your other two personalities going, how'd I get trapped in this box?
What's going on over here?
What's going on
And
over
there's boxes you haven't even explored yet, because the average human uses 10% of their brain. So you can't be in each one of these boxes at the same time.
No, it's impossible. Alright, so this guy's got the little spermies in there. Do you want to expand on that?
Great artist, but for some reason, I mean, for a bunch of reasons, he's just not. He's not out there. He's not showing. You know, his art is not out in the market or whatever you want to call it, and I think it's wrong because the art is good.
What do you think one of those reasons are?
He's a pain in the neck, as are a lot of really good artists. If he wasn't so good, if he wasn't the real thing, I wouldn't bother with him, because he is a fucking pain in the neck.
Mm-hmm.
He's the real thing. And it's a shame, and it's a waste of talent, the fact that his art is not out there, that people cannot see it.
Well, I'm a big fan of Richard. I've known Richard for a long time. Not as long as Arturo, but I guess I met him in the late 80s. I have stuck by him in his fall from glory.
Why would you say fall from glory?
Well, you know, he's chosen the path of the gutter, which is abject. But despite the hardships that he sort of cultivates, he's maintained his wit and his intelligence and his inspiration. He still does great work. There was a time in the 80s when he was a star for a while, right? But he threw that all away.
Well, him personally as an individual has never lost the drive, the honesty, the integrity, the sincerity to the art. He's never lost, not even in that midst of that chaos of a life he lives, he's never lost the touch to know the difference between what's good art and what's bad art.
This to me is called The Pimp. And it's called The Pimp because it's a guy who's cruising around looking for ladies like they grow on trees.
Yeah.
And he's got his sperm just boiling up in there. I mean, they're two, but they're strong.
Getting all
sperm.
excited.
So he's all wheeling around, looking around, and he's just looking for someone to impregnate.
This guy's saying, but it's the it's the best you can get, but for $1?
Worms, though. What's with the cactuses and everything? Tell us.
What's not with them?
Nah,
Riddle me that.
You went to art school for too long.
Exactly.
Now, can I say something? Do you find that because you're such an amazing artist, it's easy to pick up chicks if you wanted to?
I haven't named it. I don't know. I just finished it today.
I'd call it clutch.
Clutch?
John Lennon and Yoko Ono walking naked through Central Park in 1972.
There's already a painting called that. And it's the worst painting I've ever seen.
When I'm showing my stuff here, I don't really have the intention of selling it because people that come to bars don't really come with the intention of buying art. But I think it's cool just to get work out and be able to let people see it and respond to it, even if it's just in a bar. A lot of people come out that wouldn't normally expose themselves to work, and I think it's cool to just get the chance to let people see stuff.
No.
He'll see dude, your frauds are multiplying.
Okay, first, I just want to know, I know that you used... You're changing it right now?
Oh, it says some. I don't know if this was on it or not. But this isn't mine. But I don't care actually.
It's not yours?
No, whatever. I don't know why. I'm getting really.
Wait, what happened?
I have no idea. I'm totally confused right
Well,
now.
at first I was asking you about this one, but this one seems to be of interest.
Yeah, it's totally confusing.
I like how you change your art even at the show. That's good.
Yeah, it's not that, you know.
Well, why do you have the frogs anyway? You just talk about the piece in general.
Oh, okay. I just made that because I was bored.
I had a theory once. This was a while ago, and I told a few people about it.
Alright, give me the theory.
I think it might come true. I figured, in order to become a successful artist, all I have to do is convince somebody with power and importance that I'm a genius. I don't actually have to be a genius. I don't have to do good. Well, I have to do good work, but I don't have to be genius level. But I have to convince somebody that I'm a genius. And
I agree with that, but you're not going to run and try
and
and join Mensa. How are you going to convince somebody you're a genius?
I think I'm going to go through the antagonist movement.
That's actually probably the wrong
I'm tired of your shit. All right.
Oh, look at that. At least you can fight, though, right?
Bigger than that.
No luster. My name is Andrew Koslow. This is Rated Rookie. I make it with Josh Bernstein and a handful of other folks.
Also metric. The covers usually look a lot better than this, but I was forced to do this one, and you can see what happens when I make that choice.
Evan Ginzburg. I publish Wrestling Then and Now, and I also do Hey Cabby. This is a one-shot autobiography of my late dad.
Adam Siegel. That's ROSSADAMSIEGEL. And this is my publication. Law of Inertia. That's Gerald Ford. That's John McEnroe. I have no idea who these people are.
But we've decided that what it's going to be about is it's going to be about ordinary, everyday people and the weird, extraordinary shit that happens to them.
Mostly music, some comics, some films, and generally all of those being away from the mainstream. Stuff that my friends and I really enjoy and get obsessive about.
Biting view of the state of punk rock, of mainstream culture, of indie culture, of underground culture.
We're here to give credibility to zines. You know, there's so much mass market crap out there, and it's nice that people create for the sake of creating, like the Antagonist movement does.
You gotta define it as a magazine, because everyone kind of knows what a magazine sort of is. So in comparison to that, I suppose a zine means you make no money. It basically means that you're producing the thing on your own with people that you know, and you do it because you like to do it. Now, whether you one day make money at it, which no one ever will, if that's still a zine or not, I don't know.
I usually judge a fanzine by what it looks like. Not so much the content, but the way it's presented. So it could look like any number of different things, but there seems to be a certain size where it becomes more of a magazine.
A fanzine is a self-published, basically done from the heart, because you need to do it, you need to write, you need to create.
It can be written on a scrap of paper or a Xerox piece of paper, as long as it exists outside the mainstream and is grassroots in nature. I learned how to write by doing zines. I learned everything from graphic design to photography to how to write a business letter or a solicitation letter to how to do accounting. And I learned that all in the zine world. I didn't have any help. I did it because I needed to learn how to do it to make this function. So I thought I'd read a few reviews that I thought were really funny. And maybe they are, maybe they aren't, but you can tell. Blood for Blood, Outlaw Anthems, Victory Records. Holy shit, this is fucking awesome. First off, these guys are so pissed. They totally hate society, which is understandable because, you know, society sucks. Also, they hate the whole world. Further, they express contempt for their generation, the human race, and something that they call MTV babies. Their approach to helping people understand their hatred is to have listeners who understand them suck their dicks and or eat their shit. And I know that you are probably thinking, God, that's so immature. But if you could hear the intro track of this CD, you would probably hate all the things that Blood for Blood hates. I know I do. I also kind of want to learn to kickbox. After the intro track, things actually calm down a little bit. Mostly because the production of the album isn't really raw enough to match their hatred that is fueled by it. But as far as Wasted Youth brand hardcore goes, these guys have it down pat.
I was in a hairstyle rut and needed some external influence to dig my way out. Despite being told that I looked like a fucking hippie and seeing hundreds of creepy guys with ponytails that I hoped I didn't look like, I still couldn't find the time or the guts to make the change. So I took a few photos and I put my ponytail up for auction on eBay. Little did I know it would receive 26 bids from 13 different people, with the auction ending at $45.95, not including postage.
I never cared about looks, my mother told me years after Dad died. If I did, I wouldn't have loved your father so much. I was taken aback when she said that. True, he had always been self-conscious about losing his hair and combed the few remaining strands in a vain attempt to cover what was no longer there. But Dad was all city for Staten Island's Curtis High School. He fulfilled many an athlete's dream of playing at Madison Square Garden. And during the big one, he served as an Army corporal, helping to liberate a concentration camp. But most importantly to me, he was the warmest and funniest guy I'd ever met. He was my hero. Dad drove a New York City yellow cab for over a quarter century. Every night he'd come home with stories to tell. Everyone told him he had a book in him. That book never got written. In early 1980, my 57-year-old father was diagnosed with terminal liver cancer. Doctors gave him anywhere from 6 months to 5 years. In spite of his rapidly deteriorating condition that year, we sat down in between hospital stays with a 1995 Radio Shack recorder and got many of his stories down on tape. He didn't live through the summer, and it took me over 10 years before I could handle listening to the tapes.
Even a maggot is somebody's child. By K.T. Didd, chairperson, PETI, People for the Ethical Treatment of Insects. This year, 329.5 trillion of our multi-legged exoskeleton brothers and sisters will end their days ricocheting off windshields, doing deep knee bends on flypaper, or getting zapped into blue light popcorn on countless...
June Deuell, J-U-N-E-D-E-U-E-L-L.
Think that you could do Dan's headshots for him?
Yeah.
We're kind of trying to work on that. Maybe you could do a little.
It would be
He's got a
easy.
couple
You're a
good-
pretty guy.
Yeah. Look at how photogenic this guy is.
He is. He's very photogenic.
And I eat a lot of greasy food, so we can
Good.
maybe work something out.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And with bacon on his chest sizzling because he's so hot.
Oh, yes. Putting on his ass would be
Scramble
better.
a couple eggs right there.
Oh.
Oh, I don't have one.
I put 4 pictures into the show. They're the ones of the food, the bacon. It's about my family and home. I've been photographing my family for about 3 years. It started out with like black and white portraits of them, very classic stuff, and now it's just about the greasy food they eat. So.
What kind of food do you eat?
I'm a pretty healthy eater. So am I. I'm colorblind too. So.
How do you
Is that
find
why you
it?
shoot in black and white?
It's horrible. I've been struggling with color photography for 3 years now, and after the second year, my teacher was like, "June, I think you have a serious, I think you're actually colorblind." I was like, "Women can't be colorblind." She
What
was
color
like,
is this?
"Yes, they can. Red."
No, purple.
No, it's red.
I'm not. I don't see greens very well. Greens are like a cyan or something.
Who needs
so.
green anyway, really?
I don't know.
Not in New
It's
York.
pretty
There's no
bad.
green in New York anyway.
I had my eyes tested, and yeah.
Did that bum you out when you found out you were colorblind?
No. I was like, well, then I just won't be a perfect printer.
Called Fahrenheit. You have 5 minutes up on the mic to do your thing. Tell us a story, read us a screenplay, make us laugh, whatever.
Looks like I'm gonna have to come up with another improv. But then again, improvisation is all I know, so you can just saddle me up and I'll take you to Rockefeller Center and back down to 47th and Broadway. Baby, when you get here, I'll make sure butterflies walk by stars with bright wings and enchanted dark moments and blue and orange skies with golden rainbows. I'll make sure the roses smell like you. Puddles won't exist and are only raised on Sundays. Baby, when you get here, I'll make sure the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC never sing another song.
Who are important to the cause, who are important to creation, and we can't even get our fucking start time right. That's bullshit to me. That's why the man is holding us down. It's a bunch of bureaucratic bullshit, starting with a Greenwich Mean Time, starting with, yo, I gotta wake up at 6 in the morning to plow my field. It's all bullshit. You gotta remember, the antagonist movement is not something you want to be involved in. It's something that you do for yourself, and if they want to bring you in, you stay out of it. You keep creating for yourself, for creation's sake, in the name of Reverend Maroon.
Hello? William Peterson Stowe, please, the voice pleasantly requested. Not a friend, as most simply shout, Stowe, from equally fuzzy but technologically improving and shrieking cell phones. This is he. William, long pause. This is Jesus. Jesus who, I thought? I mean, there's sports figures named Jesus, and the occasional religious fanatic who will change his name. And so, you never know. And besides, most of my friends will call me and say, this is, while being cut off driving their car responding to the offender, Jesus! So the possibilities were endless. I asked again. William, this is Jesus, he insisted. The Christ, the Son of God. Christe, Christo, it is I. Ooh, I said. My first cell call from a Jew. I've gotten in this habit of proclaiming my cell phone first while driving. While driving, on the toilet, at the beach, in the mall, at a restaurant, in the bed, at the gym, at a bar, on the bus, and now from a Jew.
I work at the circus in Manhattan with the smell of children's vomit hangs in the air like fog in Sleepy Hollow. My boss is utterly fascinated with the fact that if you pay everyone less than minimum wage and get away with it, white people are just as unreliable. Nobody smiles at the circus unless they suffer from mental illness. I'm half crazy and I smile twice a day.
People are more repressed nowadays than they've ever been. Especially our generation is repressed. You try and get people to like get loose and they're so nervous.
Because I'm leaving Manhattan. I've left Manhattan already, and I'm leaving New York City because I'm bailing out because they're killing me, man. Because they're taking money from me at every moment that they can, man, at every opportunity. And then they're taking my fun away. And they're trying to tell me that it's still cool, man, that I'm still cool. You're cool, man. Be cool, man. You live in the Soviet Union now. It's okay, man. Years later, people will say, if only I came to visit while it was under a dictatorship, it would have been so quaint. It would have been so quaint to see them all oppressed and starving, and oh, that would have been beautiful, man. I say we sing a song about hurting things. Yeah! What do you say? You want to hear a song about hurting things? I heard the cat because I
86th on East 10th. It's not bad, the black and white. You gotta try it sometime. I did. I enjoyed it, and I hope to be back someday.
I throw him up against the wall. He screams out loud and then it falls. And I'm guilty for saying that I just don't care at all.